Welcome back to The Serial Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Anna Wood. Hello and welcome to the Christmas special of the Serial Entrepreneur podcast. To begin, can you all introduce yourselves?
I'll start, I guess. So I'm Paige West, Managing Editor of Startups Magazine and various other titles, including Electronic Specifier, Procurement Pro, IoT Insider. Yeah, that's me.
Yep, hi, I'm Cheryl Miles. I'm an Associate Editor at Electronic Specifier, Startups Magazine and various other titles.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Gittins. I'm the editor of IoT Insider, which reports all about the IoT industry, and I also help out in other titles like Startups Now.
And hi, my name's Harry Fowl. I'm Associate Editor across ES, Startups Magazine and Student Circuit.
And I'm Anna Wood, the editor of Startups Magazine. So, to begin, I always ask the same question to everyone, which is what's your favourite breakfast cereal and why? Paige, would you like to begin?
I don't really eat breakfast, which I know is bad, but if I had to pick, I'd probably go Cocoa Pops, because I'm a child at heart and I love the fact it turns the milk chocolatey.
Understandable.
Alright, this is a really difficult question, but my current favourite cereal is Fuel, because it's granola, which is really yum, but you get chocolate chunks and pumpkin seeds.
Wow.
I love that you updated your cereal.
I know, I change it all the time. I love it.
Cool. Yeah, I also had to give this some thought. For me, it's definitely Weetabix Crispy Minis. They've been a favourite for a long time, but then Curiously Cinnamon's a very close second.
That's some good choices. Make me want to change mine now. I'll probably just go with the big Weetabix, just bog standard big Weetabix, you know.
Boring.
No, I'm not taking the slander there, right? It's a diverse breakfast. You can put whatever you want on it. I'm more of a sugar guy, but yeah.
What about you have the granola and the yogurt and the fruit and that? That was good.
That's pretty good too, but
That's
it's not cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
Personally, I'm more of a crave gal, but childhood favourite is the Cocoa Rocks that they used to do.
Oh, yeah.
I think they brought them back, but got rid of a lot of the sugar in them, so they're just not as good anymore. And then I'm going to do a Christmas special as well. What do you eat for breakfast on Christmas?
Oh, okay, this is the one day I do really enjoy breakfast, because I always start with a sausage sandwich and then go straight into chocolate.
Yeah.
Because that counts as a breakfast item on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, you just reminded me something about what I do now.
Okay, done.
So I start with chocolate, but it's not actually breakfast. It's just like it's Christmas, so I get to eat it first thing. So I usually have a bit of chocolate, and then depends whether I have enough money or not. If I've got the money, I'll have smoked salmon, boiled egg, and pastries. Lovely. If I don't, I'll just have the boiled egg and the pastries.
Yeah, conversely to Paige, Christmas is probably the one day of the year I don't eat breakfast, but when I was younger it was the leftover chocolate, so I think Christmas is it's an allowance.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's for whatever reason it's become bacon muffins.
Ooh.
That's the go-to. Like absolutely slathered in butter as well, you know. Nice fresh. But then we kind of pair it with Bucks Fizz. You've got to get the drinking early. It's a nice introduction.
I agree.
So we usually do the whole Polish Christmas breakfast. We have loads of like cooked meats and hams and cheese. I even have pierogi with it. So it's kind of like a huge feast, which isn't ideal because then I have like a proper Christmas dinner later on. So it's not ideal, but it's still good.
Let's all go to Anna's house for Christmas breakfast.
So to begin, I'm going to do a quick fire question of what areas of tech most interest you.
Yeah, I can start. So I guess I work across quite a broad range of magazines, so my interest is also very broad. But if we hone in on, say, the last 12 months or so, I think AI applications have become very proliferant and something that I write about, or the team write about quite a lot, especially across not just startups but specifiers. So I'm looking forward to seeing where AI goes in the next year or so. So yeah, I'd pick that as one of my areas of interest.
Well, for me, my area of interest is not so much application, but women in tech, basically. So that's my sort of definite focus. I mean, I think I said it in my interview, there's not enough women, I spoke about this from the beginning. In terms of actual technology, I'm still trying to find my niche. But I find 3D printing interesting. Turns out I really enjoy reading about soil health. So that's like, in agriculture, so that's really interesting. And I did the technical article on graphene, which is also a bit mind-blowing.
Yeah, sort of echoing what Paige said, I feel like what we cover is very vast, so it can be difficult to kind of sort through what it is that interests you most. For me, definitely cybersecurity and everything that goes into it. So obviously you have the technical side of, defense, attacks, everything that goes on, but what is also really interesting is kind of how it interacts with the modern world. So there's obviously a lot of conversations around geopolitical tensions and how that impacts on the cybersecurity world. It's continually evolving, it's really fast moving, and it's really exciting for that reason.
I'm going to have to steal Paige's sort of answer at the start and say, I mean, AI, you can't escape it now. It's just constantly evolving and there's always new news, so I have to say that. Other than that, power electronics, quite enjoy that. Very difficult to get your head around, but enjoying it so far. And then for me, quantum tech, which has been very good this year for me with startups, so that'll be good.
Great. And so some of the team have been here all year. Some of you only joined partway through the year. So far this year, what have been your favourite startups that we've covered?
There's so many. I don't know how to pick, but I have two come to mind. One was in, I think, our deep tech issue. Caitlin, I think you interviewed the female founder from Senpai Neuroscience.
Yeah, Emily, she was great.
Yeah, I remember you saying how great she was. But I found the technology fascinating because it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Caitlin, but it's basically like a headband that women can wear to help with period pain or menopause or any other sort of female problems that us poor women have to suffer through. And just the idea of that was really fascinating. And then there was someone else, Cheryl, who you interviewed, called PES Technologies. And they created a electronic nose that assesses the quality of soil. Again, comes back to your obsession with soil health. But the way they've designed it was really incredible because it's basically a lifeline for farmers to be able to tell whether the soil is healthy or not to grow the crops. And it's this cute little box that literally is like an electronic nose, and it was fascinating. So
Fantastic. Cool. Well, it was really tough, and I was like, oh god, who are I interviewed this year? I mean, they've all been absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed speaking to the lady from Ocean. That was really interesting because they were building autonomous robots to go into the sea, and but I remember those. Who else have I interviewed? Oh, Callie and Urdu. They were my last two ones, the deep tech issue, and I do love the deep tech issues. And they were just completely different people. Callie is a personal safety. It's an app, but also they're bringing out jewellery in the new year, and it's all to do with safety. But they use the same level of defence that the Parliament would use, or something like that, but an individual person, which I thought was just amazing. It's really important to be safe. So I really enjoyed them. And Urdu were what were they doing? It was to do with royalties. They were, oh my goodness. Don't know. I'm trying to remember. They were. It's basically a little device that plugs in to restaurants or anywhere, and it tracks royalties for artists who wouldn't otherwise receive them. So it's all about fair and equal sort of recompense, I guess, for the work.
Yeah, I think sometimes in interviewing the startups, it's oh, this is a really cool solution to a common issue. So yeah, what Paige said, Senpai Neuroscience, really, really cool. In speaking to the co-founder, it kind of did just occur to me that stuff like period pain, menopausal pain is just very normalised, and having something that's non-intrusive, something that can be worn as a headband so people don't look at that and go, why are you wearing something that looks really different? Another one was Remarkable, so that was the most recent issue. They do a kind of tablet, but it's just for note-taking. It's designed to have none of the distractions the tablet has, but still allows you to have something that's very portable and accessible. And kind of their mission statement around being free of distractions, I think, is something we so commonly face now. And even after I had the interview, I was kind of aware of all the screens, all the apps, and how much they try to take your attention. So yeah, those would be my top two. And then my third, Hydaloo. Hydaloo were really cool. Hydaloo have created a loo that can be stored in a cupboard. It can be like in a room that doesn't have much space. It's just, again, a very cool way of thinking about a common problem people have.
Didn't one of the products feature on like Grand Designs?
Yeah, no, so I think the founder, Monty, went on Grand Designs with his wife, and they didn't have a lot of space to work with, so I think it kind of spawned out of that experience, which is very cool, yeah.
For me, probably owing to the whole quantum interest, I was fortunate enough to interview 2 quantum startups. So I had Oxford Quantum Circuits and Algorithmic, both very, very fascinating. I think one's working more on commercialising quantum, getting it into the hands of maybe not us yet, but especially like academics and things like that, and businesses, which I think is really, really cool just to see actual application of such a cutting-edge technology. As for Algorithmic, it's been very cool to hear what they've been up to. I think I heard last week actually a press release from Sabrina, the CEO, who I interviewed, about how they've managed to be working with the NHS to try and improve their systems, which I think is just another little application that people wouldn't otherwise hear that quantum's been involved in, especially where it's such a prominent problem nowadays.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it's scary, it's going to break all our algorithms and it's going to cause a lot of trouble. So.
Enhance them. So very, very interesting. Actually, one more thing. I will say, I managed to work on the Where Are They Now? Got to re-interview someone from last year, which was Silas, Tobias. That was lovely to sort of check back up with them. I think it's a really cool part of the magazine, and not something that I usually work on, so it was really, really cool to like I say, just check back in, see what they're up to, and it's been really good to see their growth and stuff, so yeah.
Great. Yeah, I think this year's been really strong for the startups that we've interviewed. Personally, some of my favourites were Greensy, who I originally met at Slush last year, that make a smart compost bin for the home to kind of get the best kind of compost that you can at home. Also Maven Pet, who I met in Porto, that do a wearable for pets that tracks their health. You can see any kind of health anomalies in it, and it basically helps diagnose animals faster and sooner, so you can change the way you care for them. Also Expansio were really cool, that are making a smart contact lens to kind of bring next generation computing to the people, and they're doing 4 different prototypes currently. So yeah, I think there's some really strong startups that we've all interviewed this year.
You just wanted an excuse to put a dog or a cat on the front cover with Maven Pet, didn't you?
Yeah, and then when I saw them picture at an event, I went, this is my chance. So going a bit more personal now, what would you say has been the highlight of your editorial journey this year?
For me, apart from the team, of course. Definitely what I was about to say. The Hustle Awards for me it's a highlight every year, but this year in particular, it was even bigger and better than it normally is. So taking place at the Still Yard in London, we had fantastic street food. The band was incredible. I've never seen so many people dance till the wee hours of the morning. And of course we had some incredible winners of our awards, and it was so nice just to see, I get to see behind, backstage of the Hustle Awards and see it all come together, and to watch it on the night sort of unfold. It's a really proud moment, obviously for you as well, Anna, but for me to just watch everyone networking and having fun and celebrating sort of the entrepreneurial world is always a highlight for me.
and obviously seeing me do my speech.
Yes. Speech. Without your cast on, because last Hustle Awards you had a broken arm.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was pink.
Yeah.
It was thematic.
No, it wasn't. It was my even bigger one that went all the way up to like my shoulder. But also, side note on that, entries open for the Hustle Awards now.
Very smooth, very smooth.
Thank you.
Nice. Well, my highlights are probably mainly based with ES, to be honest.
Yeah.
But can I still say them?
Of course.
Excellent. Okay, so when we were in Electronica, I did a video interview off the cuff. That was good. I did my first public speaking. That was good. I've done my first Women in Tech podcast takeover. That was good. This is my second ever time speaking on a podcast. This is good. And I set my Women in Tech content calendar for 2025. Also good.
Just a few highlights. Just a few. Yeah, I also did my first public speaking at Electronica. So I moderated the cybersecurity forum, which, you know, gave me obviously a really good chance to learn more about the present, like more about the solutions and the people. Because sometimes cybersecurity can take a note of, how do I put this? It's not fear-mongering, but it can be pretty scary. And so to hear from people who are bringing to the market solutions and products and, you know, very security-first mindsets was really awesome. And yeah, being on stage and having to speech was a little bit scary, but to overcome it and work through it, yeah, feel really good. Like, feel really achieved about it.
For me, it's probably my first technical article, definitely. This year's been quite a journey for me as a young editor, so I feel like doing the first technical article has been really insightful and sort of opened the doors for a lot more opportunities and very interesting topics. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what comes next now.
Well, I was going to say my highlight of the year was getting my promotion to editor. Thank you, everyone. But also, I completely forgot that I did the speech on stage at the Hustle Awards, and that was huge to me because I hate public speaking. So I think it's quite funny how all three of us.
But we did our course.
Yeah,
We did our course, we got our tips, and then we did it.
We did it and we smashed it. Obviously, we didn't see each other do it, but I can imagine you.
No,
I saw
That's
Caitlin.
true.
I saw Caitlin. Yeah, I was there.
She was in the front row, and I was trying not to look at you, but then also look at you for reassurance. Yeah.
I think that's the worst part is when I was up on stage, I tried not to look at the entire team,
Yeah.
right to like the bottom right of my vision. I was like, I can't do that.
You just had me sat in the front row staring at you.
I was like, I'm looking to the back. So if you could describe our editorial team in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, words that I'm allowed to say on camera. Okay. I would go for creative, collaborative, and inquisitive.
Beautiful.
Only need one.
Oh.
Foodies!
True.
If I need 2 more, then I'm going to say funny and friendly.
I like the alliteration, funny, friendly, foodies.
Thank you.
Yeah, I give mine some thought and passionate, curious, and excitable. I think kind of all summarise how we do our jobs.
I would say imaginative, definitely. Reliable, you know, I can always rely on you guys. And then just fun, yeah. I think, you know, funny, fun, yeah, same sort of thing.
We always having a giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 3 words would be silly. We are.
We got it.
Some more than others.
So silly, helpful, and intelligent.
Aww, they're nice.
You guys are so nice.
So, Paige, you write the founder focus for basically every issue. Which high-profile founder has been your favourite this year?
Oh, please don't make me pick. Can I not just say all of them?
No.
That's the
Yeah.
safest bet.
Fine, okay. I have to give a shout out to a guy I met last year called Ben Ryan, who is the founder of Ambionics. And he is a self-taught engineer who built his son a prosthetic arm from scratch with literally no knowledge of engineering, no knowledge of design. His background was in psychology. So he switched from that when his son Sol was born. Long story short, you know, there's a long waiting list on the NHS for prosthetic arms, and they're not that great. So he wanted to build a better one for his son, and he walked me through his entire like design journey. And I got to meet Sol, who's a great kid, and I got to hear how he sort of grew up with this prosthetic arm that his dad built. And it's such a beautiful story, and it's probably the only one that I've ever done where I've had so many people come up to me and ask like how Ben's doing and how Sol's doing, and you know how he's getting on, and it really sort of created a community which I absolutely loved. I also have to mention Grace Beverley, because I spoke to her and I know a lot of people in the office were very jealous about that. And finally, the last founder focus of the year, which was George Cruz and Dominic Day, who are both ex-professional rugby players and the nicest guys in the world. And they have both founded a like vitamins and supplements company called 4-5. And it was really, really interesting to learn how what they'd learned as being rugby players transitioned into like the entrepreneurial world. Not that they go around like, you know, tackling each other.
Give me your money.
But it was really fascinating to learn how they've sort of transitioned from sports to the business world. And I encourage anyone to go check their story out.
So Caitlin, as the editor of IoT Insider, have there been any IoT startups that have caught your eye?
Yep, so first on the list would definitely be Bleakon. I met them at Hardware Pioneers. They essentially use Bluetooth technology. So there are kind of lots of different connectivity technologies, right? You've got Bluetooth, you've got Wi-Fi, and then you've got like LTE, you've got so many. But Bleakon were kind of maybe one of the first to think about how Bluetooth could be used as a very widespread technology. Some companies come up with the issue of a technology not being, like you've got low power wide area networks, LPAN, I don't think that's pronounced right, so please cut that. Low power wide area networks, that's kind of like a new and emerging one, but Bleakon were like, well, everyone knows Bluetooth, consumers know Bluetooth, we don't really need to explain the value of using it to connect things. So I thought, wow, that was really cool. It's like a light bulb moment for me talking to them. Another one is Williot. So they use ambient IoT, which is slightly different in that you've got tags that use like radio frequency, and it's used for like asset tracking, which is very common. But when I was speaking to Steve Statler, he's the CMO, he was talking about how it's used for very common things like food waste. So in our supply chain, shipping things like strawberries, they'll very commonly go off, but ambient IoT can identify that and it can maybe suggest how to improve it. So just very common things that are done in a very cool way. So I had to give mention to those two startups.
Great. So Cheryl, who has inspired you the most in the industry this year?
Okay, that's a huge question.
Correct.
I could say a lot of people, but I decided to focus on the startups. And I think for me, I get inspired by why a person is doing something as opposed to what they're doing necessarily, so the story behind it. And the one person that sticks out for me is Aisha from Propel, because I really enjoyed her story about why she started Propel. She wasn't looking to found a startup, it was almost by accident. I think she worked for Goldman Sachs at the time, was doing really well in her career, got promoted, dealing with really high net worth individuals. But it was just like this little itch that she had, and she kept on thinking, but where are the women? Why aren't there any women? And she couldn't get this out of her head, and she would speak to her husband about it, like, where are the women? And she's like, maybe women don't have this much money. And then she was like, no, women, they definitely do. I've been speaking, but this is a common problem. And she couldn't put it down, and her husband said, like, you need to do something about it. And she did, and she started Propel, which advises women on their money and lets them know exactly how it's been invested, why it's been invested. She took time to find out what's important for women, and it's not high net worth individuals either. You can, she found out, I think, maybe the common denominator of how much savings people in an average age group have, and this is the target audience. Even though she's got people above it, below it, everyone's welcome, but she saw this problem and she found a way to help, and she put everything, like her career, into this business, and I thought, that's just amazing, that's really inspiring. She cared. So, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So, Harry, what would you say has been the most exciting technology that you've seen this year?
I mean, there's been quite a lot. It's been a very innovative year, I think, to put it lightly. You know, basically every week something new and cool comes out. But if I had to give it to one thing that's really just sort of made me go like, wow, it's probably the Nobel Prize in Chemistry winner for this year. It was kind of actually split between two people, which is a little bit rare for a Nobel Prize, just because they basically play off each other so well. It's in computational protein design and protein structure prediction, which I know sounds daunting. That's because it is. It's very the nature of protein structures makes it so they're very, very hard to predict or model, especially on a normal sort of like, you know, computer. But thanks to AI, of course, they've effectively managed to create a system that can design and predict new protein structures, and the applications for that sort of technology is insane. It's not something that they produced this year. It's been around since about 2020. But in the last like 4 years, they've essentially eclipsed what we've managed to do in the last like 70 years by a considerable amount. So I think it's finally been recognised. But like the applications for that sort of technology are just insane. You know, it's very much only the beginning. You know, you could see this technology in medical, of course, in food sciences, in agriculture. Definitely has its place there. But there's also so many other very futuristic sounding applications for it. I mean, you kind of unlock the realm of effectively synthetic biology, which is very, very ooh sounding. You know, that sort of almost borders that nanotechnology kind of thing, you know, where we can effectively create life process, but synthetically, and you know, the applications for that is, I mean, almost endless, really.
And
Yeah.
we were talking about this earlier, about how if you were to apply AI to that as well,
Oh yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah, essentially you have the brain part, which is the, you know, the AI itself, but now we have the synthetic biology part. I mean, we're almost there to iRobot at that point. You know, they're going to start hunting us down or something. But yeah, it's just fascinating. The fact that that's something that is happening and not many people really hear about it. I mean, I'm glad they got the Nobel Prize. It's something that I would vote for. If you can you vote for a Nobel Prize?
I don't know.
Maybe you're from the board.
Yeah. So I'll start with you, seeing as you just went and kind of spoke about things. Looking forward, what trends are you predicting for 2025? I
mean, there's a lot of them. Are we talking in like a tech sense, I guess?
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see a lot in the realm of quantum, in particular. I think there's just so many different emerging technologies. I think quantum will be a big one. Of course, AI will just continue to ramp up. It's basically been on an exponential growth path for the past 4 years now, so it's never going to slow down. As well as I think you're going to see a massive uptick in like nuclear power. I mean, you're hearing it more and more how big corporations that need a big data center need to power that data center so that they can power their AI, and they're effectively going through like privatized nuclear. So I think you'd be seeing that. As well as I think there'd be a lot of conversations around EVs. I think whether that's all positive for EVs is another question, but I think it will still very much be spoken about going forward. So,
Yeah, I mean, I had AI and quantum on my list, but also looking at kind of the impact of regulations in cybersecurity, like the CRA and NIS2, and kind of CRA is coming to force, NIS2 has already been coming to force, although there is like a grace period for companies. It'll be interesting to see what will come out of that, whether it will be kind of a teething period for a lot of companies, and whether they, you know, get fined for not complying. We'll see. But it'll be interesting to see the first year of those regulations and what comes out of it.
I did not have AI or quant on my list because I knew they would be covered. But I was thinking about this, and I think that we'll probably see more people monetizing on sustainability, because obviously it's a huge thing, and people need to be more sustainable. I think some people see it as I have to do this, not I want to do it. So I think the way to get people interested in it is to monetize it. And when I was speaking to Echo for the fintech issue, that's exactly what they're doing. And I think we'll probably see a lot more people starting to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys have pretty much got it covered. I think I read the other day that the global AI market is going to increase next year by 38%. If that number's not higher, I won't be surprised. And echoing what Caitlin said, I think the legislation and regulation for AI is also important, as well as cybersecurity.
Now you've got the EU AI Act.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in 2025 we'll be seeing a lot more legislation and regulation around AI. Well, at least I hope we will. Otherwise, it might go a bit crazy. But you know, all this is great for the startup world, especially AI. You know, I mean, Anna, you know, we've covered a lot of AI tech startups. That are producing AI-related products, but there's also a lot of startups that are looking to implement AI into their business as well, so it's quite nice to see both sides of the coin.
One thing that we didn't actually mention was like aerospace. I think there's a massive trend towards that, especially everything going all the way up into space. I mean, what SpaceX is doing, and there's also plenty of startup companies in that sort of area. You know, I know we have the issue that we did one this year. Which is always a fascinating one to do. Yeah, I think that will definitely will only continue to grow.
When I spoke to the founder of Skyrora, he said that I think he said in Silicon Valley they were like, space is the next big industry. It is the next one. Yeah.
I mean, you see all over like different places, little hubs are cropping up. I mean, even in the UK we have, was it Cornwall?
Yeah.
I think Scotland has.
Yeah.
Is it Edinburgh? Like around there?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So. Yeah, just all over the place, really.
Great. So we're now going to move on to our fun Christmas question. After the serious stuff. So, do you have any Christmas traditions that are out of the ordinary? And if so, what are they?
I know Cheryl really likes
No,
it.
because I was like, my thought was, what's ordinary?
Maybe not traditional.
I don't know. I mean, I've got new Christmas traditions now that I'm in my house with my family. So chocolate, first thing in the morning, up stocking in bed. Have some breakfast, go for a walk, come back and watch some nice Christmas films, and then have some present time. And I don't think there's anything strange about that, but hey, maybe some people don't walk on Christmas Day. I don't know.
Some people don't walk, they eat too much.
On Christmas Day, yeah, I'm eating too much.
I do not walk on Christmas Day. I indulge on Christmas Day.
Yeah, mine aren't out of the ordinary. We love games as a family. Also, some of my family's competitive, so it's not great. It means we play a lot of board games, a lot of Risk, maybe others like charades and Pictionary, and end up arguing. But then coming back together, which is the spirit of Christmas.
I mean, yeah, again, I don't know if it's ordinary or not, but I don't really spend Christmas at home. I rely on the hospitality of my friends and family to cook and feed me.
A Christmas passenger.
I am indeed. And it's been that way for a good few years, even though I've got my own house. I don't like cooking, so there you go.
Fair. I can't say anything's out of the ordinary for me. Yeah, just a bog standard, plain vanilla Christmas. Yeah, pretty much just a bit of everything that everyone said, bar the walking, not doing the walking part. Unfortunately, sorry,
Yeah, we could make something up.
God, we're boring, aren't we?
Yeah, come on guys, spice it up.
Or do you have anything unusual?
I wouldn't say it was unusual, it's just not traditionally English. So, being half Polish, I do a traditional Polish Christmas Eve, because they mainly celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. So we aren't allowed to eat meat, we only eat fish. So we have a huge kind of feast on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas I go to my nan's house and we have like a traditional English one. So I kind of have like the best of both worlds.
Amazing.
Yes, my mum's Swedish, and Swedish Christmases are all about the meatballs.
Nice.
From IKEA or?
No, not IKEA. No, they're just really good if we have them some years, but depends.
I do Christmas Eve presents. If we were going to go back, you know, well, we'll look at the day, but on the eve, do little Christmas Eve presents because they're cute.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I get really excited at Christmas anyway. I need something to prolong the excitement.
When I was younger, because I've always loved reading, I'd always be allowed to open a book on Christmas Eve because then I could start reading on
That's
Christmas
so
Eve.
nice. Love that.
So, what is your favourite Christmas film?
The Holiday. Rest my case.
True.
So hard. I have lead up to Christmas films, then Christmas Day films. So lead up to Christmas films. Holiday, Love Actually, anything with a bit of snow. Christmas Day, I got introduced to It's a Wonderful Life. You watch The Snowman, the song, and anything else I can get my hands on.
I feel like you've covered all of it.
Sorry. And you saying The Snowman makes me want to sing the song from The Snowman.
Maybe we can all do that at the end.
Maybe not. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Christmas films, but Love Actually as a kid, I watched it as a kid, love it as an adult. I love Alan Rickman in it, even though he doesn't play the best character. But also, what was it, Rowan Atkinson in The Shop, where he's rapping it. Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
If I'm gonna be like really generic, I guess I'll say the Polar Express. I mean, it's just. I feel like it's every year. It's on the TV at some point, you know, you end up watching it. But then I kind of also raised you. What is a Christmas film?
Okay, Die Hard is not.
Because this is what I mean. Like Die Hard, for some reason has this connotation with Christmas. For me, I mean, Harry Potter. It's got to be done. For me, like Harry Potter has that seasonal Christmas watchability to it.
Yeah,
I feel like it's always on TV as well. Basically, I'm a shill for the TV when it comes to Christmas films, I guess.
A non-Christmas Christmas film that I love is A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yes.
So I used to watch it, like, it used to be on TV every Christmas Eve, and I used to watch it every single Christmas Eve, and it's just, there's nothing Christmassy about it, but it makes me feel Christmassy.
Also, am I the only one that's really excited for the new Wallace and Gromit that's coming out on Christmas Day?
I love Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, and back in the day when they aired like Doctor Who episodes, Christmas.
True.
Or Gavin and Stacey.
There's going to be a new one this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the Eurovision, the Fire Saga, the story of Fire Saga, my new Christmas Day film. That's great. I just realised that's my non-Christmas Christmas film, my new one from this year, from 2024.
Maybe non-Christmas Christmas films are our weird tradition.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but I can totally back you up, Paige, with The Holiday. That's up there. But also, and you, Sharon. I think you named so many.
Yeah, they all came out in one go.
I love The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Good one.
God, I can't believe I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So a fun bonus question, what would you say is your favourite Christmas song?
You know what?
Not my strong point.
Haters.
I don't like Christmas songs in November. 1st of December, I'm fine. But playing in November,
I'm with you on that one.
I'm a humbug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got a favourite one. I mean, okay, I really like Michael Bublé, so he can sing any sort of Christmas song and I'll be happy.
Not fan.
What's the rocking around the Christmas tree one? The old-timey one? Is it just called Rocking Around the Christmas tree? Yeah, I really...
Sing an extract from it.
No, there's a reason I said, what's the Rocking Around the Christmas tree one? I really like that old-timey. The old-timey, crackly, yeah.
Maybe something like the, what's that guy that sings with a really high voice? With the long
Don't know the Bell's End.
Yeah, maybe there's something like that. Something like that would be fine. Like to hear once or twice.
Once or twice. Not Michael Bublé, though.
Right.
I think I have to give it to Wham for me, which I think I've annoyed you with. Well, not annoyed you, but I've stole your answer for. I mean, last Christmas, yeah. Or, I mean, a little personal favourite of mine and my sister's, because we did like a whole little dance jig when we was kids. I can't remember what it's called now. What's that like military one?
Oh yeah.
It goes like that one. That one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, we have, for some reason my sister and I like loved that song. And made like a whole like dance choreography.
Yeah.
You can tell that I was the younger one. Very much my sister's idea.
Yeah, I was going to say Last Christmas. Literally since 1st of November, I haven't listened to any other Christmas song. But there's something about Last Christmas that it's such a good feel-good song. Also the one by Slade.
Where he shouts, "It's
Christmas!" Yeah, like, 'cause it is Christmas.
Oh, and Wizard. I wish it was Christmas every
Oh,
day.
also that, yeah.
That's the one.
There's just some solid ones, but also talking about Last Christmas, the film
Don't get me started.
is something else.
I cried.
Didn't like it.
Cried my eyes out.
Really, I hated it. I was so sad. I wasted so many hours of my life. I was like willing it to be good, and I was just like, I just don't like it.
I'm loving the polar opinions.
Yeah. Sorry.
I feel like they listened to the song once and then just went, just write a random script
Really?
about it. They went, we know what we're going to do with this.
Also, coming back to a question about Christmas films, can I say that I love the really trashy Netflix Christmas films that come out every year?
The six they put out.
Honestly, when I was pregnant, I just sat on the sofa because, like, when I was born in December, and I sat on the sofa and just watched every Christmas film I could find, like everyone, like the Prince ones. What were they? Like the seats were practically falling over, and I was like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
So, still on Christmas, guys, what would you say are your non-negotiables when it comes to a Christmas dinner? And Cheryl, you can't say everything.
That was going to be my answer.
No.
I mean, my big thing is I can't have Brussels sprouts on my plate.
See,
If
I'm
there are
not.
Brussels sprouts on
I
my
want like they're Christmas to me. Brussels sprouts. Love them.
I agree with Paige. I don't want a sprout on
There's
my plate.
there's no reason for it. Yeah.
There's just
Are you all sprout haters? Am
Yeah,
I going
I
to
hate
sprout
it.
enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
God.
your weird Christmas.
At least
thing.
we know where
That's
the
not
sprouts
weird.
are going at the Christmas party.
There you go.
Exactly.
Pile them up. I'll eat them all.
But I like everything. So I guess my non-negotiable would be because it doesn't make sense, but in my head it's going to make sense. Okay, so my non-negotiable would be the gravy, because the gravy is the stuff that binds everything underneath together, so that it's like a little roast blanket with vegetables and potatoes. So gravy, please.
You've really thought about this question, haven't you?
Oh, I just wanted to. I guess but I can't. How can you single out like?
Maybe
one
your
item?
non-negotiable would be having like a curry instead of a roast.
What does that mean though?
As in, like, can you imagine not having a Christmas roast on Christmas Day?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. The whole thing is not negotiable. Set the sprouts, they can just leave them. I don't want them.
Yeah, onto my plate. Cheers.
Yeah, for me, I've put pigs in blankets. When I was very young, we'd have pigs in blankets in the oven. And also roast potatoes. My dad does them in a way. He cooks them like goose fat and stuff that's really bad for you. But my dad's cooking
It's
on
Christmas,
Christmas
though.
Day. Yeah, no, exactly.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
why it's nice, because
Yeah.
it's so bad.
It's like a calorie void Christmas.
Yeah.
You just consume and then you deal with it the next year.
Also,
Doesn't
I
count.
bought some pigs in blankets flavoured Pringles. Other Christmas snacks are available. But
Those are available.
they are incredible.
Really?
Oh, I have another one. After Christmas dinner and we've got more room, we always have cheese and crackers.
Oh yeah, cheese and crackers is good.
I mean, in my head, I think like non-negotiable means like if you was only to only have one thing, they would have to be that thing. So your gravy answer is a bit confusing to me because then I'm just picturing you with a gravy boat. and
No,
nothing
see,
else.
soup. This is what I was saying though. It makes sense in my head. And
Oh, so you would just have a gravy boat?
no. In my head, this is how my brain works. So please follow me here. In my head, the gravy is the thing that covers all of the dinner. So in my head, if I've got
It's just a roast, yeah.
What's crazy? The gravy binds the roast together. So if I've got the gravy.
What's happened here? Cheryl has used the gravy as like a glue. And she said
how
if
thick is her gravy?
Thick enough.
if she picks the gravy, everything else just comes with it.
God, thoughtfully ordered is the whole thing. It's like,
That was kind of a cheat answer, but I respect it.
Thank you. That is a good.
so for me, it has to be the turkey. Like
Yeah, but then
Christmas
turkey.
is. I know you can have turkey at any
No,
point of the
no,
year,
no.
but turkey is.
But on its own, it's really dry.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
couldn't.
you're cooking it wrong.
That would just be more one thing. 'cause
My
it's
mum's
dry.
turkey juicy.
We'll go round to your house for dinner.
No, because they've got sprouts.
It's too many.
We'll
Who
go
eat
to,
them? Who eat-
That's
oh,
why
yeah,
I
that's-
eat them.
that's true.
we'll go to Anna's house for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get pierogi.
Yeah. Does anyone else have the turkey sandwiches the next day though?
Oh, yeah.
Like with loads of butter.
Exactly.
Oh,
How are you going to
that's
have
great.
that without your non-negotiable turkey?
Because
No,
she
the
won't have it for her
turkey
Christmas dinner.
it will be there.
Yeah.
It'll just be covered in
It would just be
cold
covered in
gravy.
gravy.
Cold glue.
See, mine is a bit rogue, but Yorkshire puddings.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like they go with
Yes.
any roast, so why should the Christmas dinner be different?
Mm-hmm.
Also, roast carrots, because
Oh,
I love roast carrots.
Yes.
And this is also another rogue one, but bread sauce.
Like, are you allowed to pick more than
Excuse
one?
me?
I thought.
Bread sauce.
Yeah!
I thought we could only have one, so that's why I went for gravy because I can't pick one.
No, but it's non-negotiables.
Well, everything then.
Can we just sort of come back to the fact that Harry's never heard of bread sauce?
Yeah, what is bread sauce?
It's sauce that's bread.
Made of bread.
So how what, you just like getting soggy bread and just
No, but
mixing
it's
it up?
like warm as well, and it's like yum. I don't really know how to describe it besides like, you have to try it to know.
You do have to try it to know how you feel about it.
I'd rather
Have you
think
had
bread.
it, Caitlin?
Yes.
What do you feel? Wrong.
I know that.
Also, coming back to your Yorkshire puddings, I love pouring the gravy in the Yorkshire puddings.
Yes.
Yeah,
Gravy
and then
again.
what I do is make like essentially like little Yorkshire pudding sandwiches. So I put a bit of everything
Yes.
in them, and then that's the best way.
And can I just say,
Using it like a
this year
naan bread.
Yeah.
this year I've started making my own Yorkshire puddings, and they're really good. And they're
Yum.
huge.
So this year, do you have any exciting Christmas plans?
No.
Boring. Well, for me, so my future brother-in-law and his fiance have just had a baby. She's coming up for 6 months old, so it's going to be her first Christmas. So I'm looking forward to spending it with my little niece and watching her play with the wrapping paper instead of the very expensive presents that I bought her.
Cute.
That's how it be.
Do you mean Santa?
Oh, Santa,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
Paige, please.
Wait, Santa isn't real?
I don't have exciting Christmas plans, but I put food, games, and go for long walks.
Oh,
Sorry.
see, that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, always about these walks.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's really nice to eat lots of food, let it sit for a bit, and then go for a brisk walk.
No, it's really nice to eat loads of food, let it sit for a bit, and then sit for a bit yourself.
No.
You
know,
mean,
just
Harry, you're not going to
fester.
go to the gym on Christmas Day?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to see Jim. No.
I mean, not exciting, as in, like, I'm not going to go skydiving or anything, but, you know, spending it with my family, especially my daughter, it's always really exciting, and then we could just get excited over presents together, because she's of the age where she likes opening presents now.
No, you get to live through her.
Yeah, I do
which
get
is
to live
fun,
through
yeah.
her, yeah, it's great.
Is it just Christmas or on the build-up?
The vibe of Christmas.
Okay, in that case, I mean, I'm going to go see my friends in Nottingham. We always do like a little get-together sort of thing. You know, I don't get to see them as much as I'd like to throughout the year, so it's always nice to see them at Christmas. And then hopefully this time, as you guys know from last year, I don't get very, very ill afterwards. So, yeah, hopefully I'll be around for our Christmas party, which would be very nice. There you go, there's a little thing to everyone looks
Christmas
forward
party.
to.
Party, yeah.
Yeah. My exciting Christmas plans are the work Christmas party, and then my classic Christmas Eve at home, Christmas at my nan's, eat loads, lay horizontally for the rest of the day.
See, that's more like it.
Yeah.
This room is split, those who don't go for walks and those who do.
Well, I'm that side of the room. I
You need to move. You need to move,
No,
Paige.
she won't, it be us.
This is a sandwich.
Like maybe around Christmas I'll go for a nice walk, usually like Boxing Day or the day after. I meet up with some of my friends that live close, and we'll get like hot chocolates and do a little walk. But like on Christmas Day, if I'm eating that much, absolutely not.
I had my first Black Forest hot chocolate of the year the other day. That's always Christmassy to me.
Yeah.
That comes out Christmas time, so yeah.
Yeah, I've started having like hot chocolates in the evenings.
Yeah.
That's when it
nice.
feels like Christmas.
Nice, yes.
So back to the topic of Star Wars magazine. What topics are you most excited to cover next year in the mag? Yes, Cheryl.
All of them. I saw the plan. I was like, yes, all of them, please. Thank you. Yum, 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 yum.
Have you got the women in tech issue? So I'm sure you know some good women.
Yes, there's the Women Tech issue. I mean, that's obviously going to be my most favourite one, but all of them are amazing.
It's always the deep tech issue for me.
Same
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've put green tech and clean tech because there's already a few things I've seen that I think would be good for the mag. But also, it's just nice to speak to people who have aims to better the planet, better the environment. Obviously, in the news you hear a lot about like wildfires, climate change, flooding. You know, we've had flooding in the UK recently. A lot of doom and gloom, and so it's just really nice to get together with these people and be like inspired by their passion and their desire to change things.
Yeah, I think with deep tech, it's just so diverse. So deep tech, where it's so broad, you can kind of just do a bit of anything you want, because there's probably going to be a very smart team of individuals that are all just working on their little thing.
I'm not sure I'm excited for everything, but I think in particular space tech, I really liked the issue that we did last year, so we brought it back for this year, and med tech, because we haven't done it in a very long time, at least since I've been here as well, and I find med tech really interesting, so I'll just be looking forward to writing about different med tech startups and speaking to them, learning more about what they're up to.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's the people that, you know, the subjects are really interesting, and I'm like, you know, when you've got someone that's passionate about it, then I'm going to enjoy writing about it. So yeah.
Have we just accidentally spoiled the whole of next year? Is that what we've just done?
It's a teaser. It's a teaser.
Also, it's in the media kit, so if people want that, welcome
everyone
to it.
Yeah. Feel free to request the media kit. So that's kind of the end of my questions, which includes fun Christmassy ones and startup-y ones. But is there anything else any of you wanted to mention before we wrap up today?
I don't think so. Just, I guess, to wish our readers and our listeners a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes.
And I'm sure
I echo that.
myself and the team look forward to speaking with many entrepreneurial minds in 2025.
Yeah. What she said.
Well, thank you all so much for coming on my podcast today. It's been great having you, and I'll literally see you in a couple minutes.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
Bye.
And Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out Startup Magazine's socials to stay up to date on the latest startups news.